He killed Dolph Ziggler, but that's what Dolph Ziggler does. He makes you look amazing. So he's looked good when he's supposed to look good. And he's had a pretty good career.
Breeze Prince Pretty, and this is Wrestling's Behind the Curtain.
You already know what it is, boy. Chance, JJ.
Yeah.
So y'all saw the thumbnail, you know what it is. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff. So Goldberg gets a bad rap, but he wasn't that bad of a wrestler. He really wasn't. Saw this thing on YouTube yesterday. I believe it was on WWE, the Discovery or the documentary shits. You know what I'm saying? Then I saw Chris Van, whatever, you know his name. But it was a good interview. And some people notice, some people don't. Me and Goldberg, you know, we used to conversate a little bit, have little, you know, conversations. Started a long time ago. I used to work on Celebrity Apprentice before I used to act and do music and podcasts, obviously. I worked on TV and film. So I was on Celebrity Apprentice, and Goldberg was on one of the seasons, and he was a real cool dude. So fast forward, DM'd him. I was like, yo, it's been a long time. Just want to make sure he was good since the show. You know, he didn't call me from his number, but he called me from a block number. We chatted it up. You know, he sent me some supplements, you know what I'm saying? No steroids like that, like some real legit shit. And, you know, he gave me some hints, some tips on working out. He was trying to hook me up with one of his boys, Uncle Louie, to do some music and stuff. That never worked out, never transpired. Couldn't get Uncle Louie, but, you know, Goldberg did the thing. He tried. Only beef I had with him is, you know, he said if he ever came back to wrestling, I would get tickets. I'm sure, you know, he had to train, all that stuff. He kind of, you know, you get busy, so you forget. Things happen. You can't get a hold of somebody. I never got those tickets when he came back. Would have been great to see, but I didn't. But, you know, I understand. I ain't trying to be salty about it because I understand. But I haven't spoken to him in a while. But the reason I wanted to do this because Bret Hart, love him, still throwing shots. It's been years. Like, did the kick really do that to you? I don't know. You said it did. I'm not going to say you're lying because I love you, Bret. So if it did, that's fucked up. It really is. And it really sucks that it hindered your career because at one point he was the best there was, the best there is, and the best there ever will be. You know what I'm saying? That was him. And I love Bret Hart. I was a Shaw guy, but I love Bret. But I don't get all the shots 42 years later. I don't understand it. And yes, did Goldberg have some mishaps in Saudi with Undertaker? Yes. It wasn't that good. You know what I mean? He clearly knocked himself out. He's talked about it. He's just taking responsibility for it. He's an adrenaline dude. You know what I mean? He tried to amp himself up, knocked the shit out. It was bad. Glad Undertaker didn't get hurt. He got a receipt for it because Undertaker dropped him on his head with the tombstone. So, you know, they paid it back. He did another match that wasn't that great either. But, you know, one, he was older. Two, Goldberg's never been a great wrestler. Like, his shtick was always real simple. You know, powerhouse, couple of moves, spear, jackhammer, you're done. You know what I'm saying? And, like when I watched in the video, to his credit, like he said, they never really trained him. They saw he was swole. They saw he was a powerhouse. They were losing to WWE, maybe WWF at the time. They needed something. They was like, yo, this dude is jacked, pause. Let's get him. Put him in real quick, hence the streak. Streak was like 170 wins in a row or something like that.
176.
176, there you go. So, was he properly trained? No. Was he someone who wanted to wrestle? No, he wanted to be a football player. So, obviously, he ain't your Seth Rollins. He ain't your AJ Styles. He ain't your Shawn Michaels. We get it. Even Triple H. You know, shout out Uncle H right now. He doing his thing. But the hate is crazy because statistically, which this surprised me though, he was only WCW champion one time. I did not know that. Thought it was more. Yeah. I guess because the streak was crazy. I didn't really think about it. But he was only a WCW champ one time. two-time WCW United States champion, one tag team championship with, crazy enough, Bret Hart. But he did have two WWE Universal Championships. Don't think he should have brought Bray. Rest in peace. That's another topic for another thing because we're not slandering. And one World Heavyweight Championship. So it's not like he had a bad career. Was his matches the greatest? No. But it was for what it was supposed to be. The Brock shit was still amazing. Spear Brock in like 30 seconds, he was done. It was a wrap.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Did we expect it? Of course, because he was old or whatever. But we didn't expect it because it was Brock. And it happened so quick. For what he was, and I'm going to let you get in here, Pose. He was entertaining. He was just muscle, which is kind of what they should do with Braun Breaker. I don't know if you're familiar with the product because I don't know if you watched it lately, but Braun Breaker is pretty much like Goldberg. He has a little more of a movement set. He does crazy stuff. He jumps off the rope, does the ring center. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like his pops or whatever, but pretty much like Goldberg. So I expected it. But yes, the Bret Hart thing happened. Sucks. Yes, the Undertaker shit happened. Yes, he had a couple of bad matches. It wasn't great. He killed Dolph Ziggler, but that's what Dolph Ziggler does. He makes you look amazing. So he's looked good when he's supposed to look good. And he's had a pretty good career. I mean, movies, wrestling. So it was just basically for me. You can obviously go next about the hot tag you in. I just don't think he should get the hate that he got.
Well, personally, I like Goldberg a lot. You know what I mean? Despite everything that happened, like post, I don't know, 2018, because he took like a 13-year hiatus, 12-year hiatus from wrestling,
About
and only came back because his son wanted to watch him wrestle. Right, like that was his like driving motivation. And before that, he was last thing he was doing was All Japan Pro Wrestling, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the 176 wins. I don't know how accurate it is because people speculate that WCW lost count of how many wins he had, so he's kind of like threw a number out there. So it could be less, could be more. But personally, when that Goldberg Brock Lesnar beef started, I was excited. You know, because Brock had been the longest time the beast, right? There's no one that could.
Well, the first one sucked, pause, because one of them was on the way out. I think it was Goldberg that was on the way out, or was it Brock on the way out? One of them was on the way out. So the first one was sucked. It wasn't good at all.
Well, I'm talking about 2016.
Yeah, but the last one they did, great. But go ahead, I'll take it back in.
Yeah, no, for sure. Everything that happened after, you take this old dude, right, who was never really a technical wrestler. You can't expect him to make shit happen when he's already like in this old ass body, because his whole shtick was like high impact, freight train, coming in the ring, mows everybody down. And
Stupid freight train, son. Like, bro, this dude on set for breakfast had 2 steaks, a carton of eggs, and I forgot if it was 1 or 2 loaves of bread every day.
Bro, well, to keep up Goldberg, bro, you probably have to be like 10,000 calories a day.
Crazy.
You know what I mean? But even besides that, bro, it's from the entrance to the ring itself was like it gets you like your skin crawling. You're like, oh, this dude's about to come in, like crazy, right? From the head banging on the door to the slapping the bald ass head.
And people be hating on it. They're about, oh, he knocked himself out because he was doing stupid shit. Don't lie to yourself. When you heard the music, you saw the security, you heard it, you was hyped. You wanted him.
Oh yeah, 100%. And he played for. I want to say he played for 3 NFL teams.
Well, I know
Atlanta, LA Rams, and they weren't LA Rams at the time, but the Rams, and he played for the Panthers.
No, he didn't.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if he ever played for the Panthers, but he was definitely signed on the Panthers. But then he had an injury that ended his NFL career, which is a crazy injury. He ripped his abdomen off his pelvis completely, right? Which sounds horrific. He had it surgically reattached, and then, that was it for football. But you can't expect this old dude to come in and do what he used to do in the 90s, early 2000s. It doesn't make sense. Even in 2016, I was worried about him, bro. Like, you could tell he ain't look the same. He was old, but the impact was still there. So me personally, I do think he did end Bret Hart's career, but accidents happen, man. That's part of the shtick. That's part of the game. You know what I mean? You don't sell tickets by laying down your opponents gently on the ring. You know,
Listen,
so
I'm trying to look up what you said. So Atlanta Falcons, yes, was the first player the Panthers ever cut.
yeah. So I
Wow.
guess they cut him. But that's probably obvious.
I did not know Goldberg played for my Panthers.
Yeah. Well, he got injured. That's why he probably couldn't
That's why I
do
called.
nothing. But
That's why I called you for this episode.
well, appreciate you. Like I said, I don't know Goldberg, like as well as like an expert would, but I definitely know enough about him. Feel me? And him and Bret Hart were like one of the only two people to hold basically all the belts at one time. Like even in the WWE, I think he had the World Heavyweight, the United States, and the WCW Championship all at the same time, which is insane. So I don't know how you can hate on Goldberg. Granted, he was not like nothing special on the mic, but you didn't have to be. All you have to do was say a few words, say your catchphrase, and that got the people popping.
But
So personally,
I think that's missing.
I love Goldberg.
I think that's missing. I think some people shouldn't talk. Like they feel like they make it everyone has to talk. I think some people shouldn't talk.
Well, I mean, that's what you got guys like Paul Heyman for, bro. Like you like a Shinsuke Nakamura, right? Amazing wrestler, but doesn't speak enough English to like have like a compelling like back and forth, right? Which shouldn't take away from having a wrestler like Shinsuke Nakamura on the roster. Then you got Brock Lesnar. He has the voice of a 16-year-old boy. You know what I mean? Like it takes away from the intimidation when he talks.
Hey, Brock, I ain't say that. He said it.
Well, tell him he can see me, but whatever.
He can't see me.
Anyways.
But yeah, I think they took managers away. They should bring them back because not everyone should talk. I think Braun has decent promo skills, but maybe he shouldn't talk either. Maybe he should have a Paul Heyman-ish type thing. Shinsuke, yes. Andrade, he suffers from that too because one of the reasons why he was let go the first time from the Vince era was because he didn't speak enough English. Then he got let go. He's come back. He's done promos. I love Andrade, but some of the promos ain't great because you really can't understand what he's about. I can't, but you really can't understand what he's trying to say. You know what I mean? So had he had a manager, it'd be good. Just look how you look and do what you do. He's got a good look. He can definitely wrestle because prior to him getting released, him and Ray's matches were great. So
he was great. He was for sure great. And you're right. What's called when we had like Undertaker and Kane, for example, right? Like early on, you didn't want them to talk. You know what I mean? They were just these beings of presence. You know what I mean? They come in, they scare the shit out of it, they scare the poop out of you. And
you can curse now because we're past 5 minutes.
Oh, they scare the shit out of you.
They do. I think I fucked that up anyway. So,
and obviously they had their mouthpiece. Rest in peace. But besides that, you don't want Undertaker and Kane talking. It takes away from like the presence of having that like absolute monster in the ring with you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I don't think we heard Kane talk for a long time
until his face really burnt.
Right.
And
Undertaker too.
Even to add to your stuff, he's down. He's got it down packed now because he's the man. He's my cousin Roman. But in the beginning, when he was with the Shield, he was better. But when he didn't say anything, it was like, "Who's this dude that's sparing the shit out of people?" And obviously the muscle, and he didn't say shit. But then when they started speaking, and granted, Vince was writing shit, and they had the succotash shit and the horrible promos. It just made him look so bad. But then
I didn't like Roman at first, right? And the reason I didn't like Roman at first is because everything that came out of his mouth felt like a 1990s like WWF promo. It was nothing that made sense for this generation.
Because Vince was right.
It was cringe. It was cringy.
Super cringy.
You know what I mean? The big dog is here. Like, all right. Put your leash back on. Go somewhere else, bro. Like, it ain't work.
Yeah, we got to phase back to Goldberg, but bro, they had this man lose, and they put dog food on him. Like, come on, bro. I'm glad the Vince era is over. Great in the beginning. We could do this segment another time. Great mind for the beginning of how we have wrestling now, but towards the end, this wasn't it. It wasn't it. But
I have a trivia question for you, real quick, about Goldberg.
I'm probably gonna lose it, but go ahead.
Who was his first opponent in the WWE?
Oh, The Rock.
Nice.
I thought it was gonna be. If you would have said something in WCW, I wouldn't have got it. But I remember
Nah.
because that's when Rock came back as Hollywood,
Okay.
and he had the little black vest. And that's because they were booing him already when he came back, and he's like, "Fuck it, they're gonna boo me. You gonna really boo me?" Which fast forward, he kind of took that now. Now he's the final boss.
Well, yeah, I mean, because The Rock, after that fight with Goldberg, I think that was his last fight before he went to
That
record.
spear, The Rock sold the shit out of that spear.
Oh, speaking of spear, another thing about Goldberg, Goldberg invented the spear as a finisher.
Did he
Because
really?
before him, people did spears as just kind of like a going through the match. But Goldberg's the first one to make the spear like an actual finisher.
Well, you weren't getting speared like you were getting speared by Goldberg.
Well, that's why, in my opinion, Goldberg to this day is the best at delivering the spear.
Oh, definitely. Who would you say top three spears? I will go with. No, I'll let you go first. I'll let you go first. I don't know if I know off top.
I'm gonna go Goldberg.
Definitely Goldberg.
Definitely Goldberg. Honorable mention.
I'm gonna have to give.
Honorable
I'm gonna have to
mention.
give my cousin number two, Roman. But go ahead.
Honorable mention. Rhino with the
Oh,
gore.
well, it was a gore. It wasn't a spear.
It was kind
So
of the same.
we're keeping it honorable because it was a gore.
Dishonorable mention. The Big Show.
I don't think I remember his spears. But go ahead.
Well, he's just a big dude that runs through people. Number three has to be no. Well, my number three is Roman.
Who's your number two?
My number two is Edge,
Yeah, that's good spears.
and not because of personally like his everyday delivery, but he has had the greatest like spear like moments. You know what I mean? Like we talk about spearing Jeff Hardy off the top of a ladder. That's insane. You know what I mean? It might not be the best every time delivery in the ring, but in terms of moments,
I'm trying to think.
you can't top Edge.
I'm trying to think. My number one is Goldberg. Number two is Roman. My honorable might be Edge,
So who's your number three?
or maybe I'll make Edge three, and I'll just have my honorable because Edge's spirit. Edge is older, and his spirit it is nice. I was trying to think if someone does in the AEW, and I know they do. I just can't remember who it is. So obviously, I guess I don't. It ain't that great. Besides Edge, because Edge is there not, aka Adam Copeland. My honorable would probably be. It could be Braun, the youngin, because he runs the ropes crazy.
Yeah, give him a few years, and we can start talking about him in the top three for sure.
And that's why he's honorable. He's gonna be my honorable.
But you could do those crazy spears when you're young. You got to see if it lasts the test of time.
Yeah, because it don't even hurt you.
Well, I mean, like I said, like look at Edge. Edge's spears are not what they used to be, in my opinion.
Hey,
You know?
if y'all go to my shorts on here, if y'all subscribe, you can see me spearing the shit out of my gymnastics coach for my little girls. It wasn't great, but it was good. But in my defense, I didn't want to hurt him because you can get hurt if you don't.
Oh, for sure.
So
For sure.
I was trying to play it off, but I mean, at 25,000 views, I mean, I don't care how it looked. You know what I'm saying?
That's fair. That's fair.
And the jackknife, bro, that jackknife was crazy.
Oh, it's one of the not a lot of people have finishers who I feel like actually hurt. You know what I mean? Like a lot of finishers don't like they actually hurt.
Bro,
Like
he held him in the air for a minute.
yeah,
I mean,
impressive.
Then
Power slam. Yeah, no, it's great. Like just for an example, right? Like, there's a few like moves in the WWE that I don't think actually hurt. You know what I mean? Like they don't like I don't feel like they'll actually put somebody down. You know, like moves like the RKO, right?
oh, that's
It looks like it hurts. It looks like it hurts.
I think we might do this segment in a minute. I think the RKO is one of the greatest finishers of all time. Not but it's one. I love those.
It's the best
The
finisher.
RKO, the stunner.
It's the best finisher.
Not the stunner. What did Diamond Dallas Page call it? The diamond cutter. Like those shits is amazing. It ain't the best, but
no, it is. It is. The RKO is the best.
I mean, it could be because I do have him as my WWE 2K characters. No, actually, I'm lying. Kenny Omega's is my finisher.
I think RKO is the best. I think a good super kick is somewhere up there.
Yeah, super kick is fire. But
which Goldberg's super kicks also looked like they hurt.
It literally did.
Yeah, that's fair.
So to end this segment, so we can move on, get y'all out of here, and do another segment. Stop the hate. Like, I know it's cool nowadays, especially for you youngins in this generation, just to be haters and trolls. We get it. But if you go back and look at the footage, especially that he was one of the reasons why WCW was remaining like on top, pause, against the Monday Night Wars. And don't even front. When Vince bought WCW, you were praying that Goldberg came over.
Oh yeah.
So for someone you don't like and don't think can wrestle, why was the hype so real? Even when he came back as an old man, all the chants, and it wasn't just old people my age chanting; it was youngins too. Because the man still looks great at fucking 50 something. Bro, between him and Hugh Jackman, because if you haven't seen Deadpool Wolverine, there's no spoilers. Between Hugh Jackman, his body, and Goldberg, I'm hate. They both in their 55, making me look like I shouldn't eat nothing. It's just amazing. But we're gonna end this segment. You got anything fun to say about Goldberg? Just stop the hate, y'all. Go back and watch the tapes.
Like I said, man, Goldberg has a lot of there's a lot of fun facts about Goldberg. I encourage you to watch, professional football, movie actor, wrestling Hall of Famer. It's very colorful and great career. So if you look into him, like you can't hate the dude.
And he's a great human.
And he's a great human. Bro was living the dream. You know what I mean? Like what you dream as a kid. You dream about being a pro player, you dream about being an actor, you dream about being a wrestler. He did them all. All right. And better than most wrestlers have done. Maybe not be as big as a movie actor as The Rock or had the greatest career in WWE like some other people. But he's been top tier in all these roles. I challenge you to watch The Longest Yard and don't laugh at every scene Goldberg's in.
I challenge you to mention Goldberg to anyone and see if they don't know who he is. That tells you how they are.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? So, make sure you like, share, subscribe, put in the comments what y'all think. Are y'all Goldberg haters or do you appreciate what he did? Let me know, put in the comments.